Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
And we would love it if you would send us an email and let us know your thoughts about the May for Moms. I almost said Spring into Love, but we are into May and
We're
May
into
for
May.
Moms now. We're into May.
Yep.
Let us know your thoughts about the movies that have aired so far these past few months or the year or anything Hallmark related. We would love to hear from you. Shoot
Yes,
us an
we would.
email to pourthewine@gmail.com.
And the best way to support our podcast is if you're listening over on Apple or Spotify, you can click on that 5-star rating and give us a review. Or if you're watching us on YouTube at Pour the Wine is Rom-Com Time.
Slow it down.
You can click the like button and then hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of our new episodes.
Don't miss a thing.
There you go.
Oh, well, we got a lineup for our Passport to Love.
Yes, we
That's
did.
returning in June. It's really exciting. We'll go into more detail when we do our actual preview of the
Yep.
Passport to Love movies, but it's really exciting to see, we're going to see Nikki DeLoach, we're going to see Brendan Penny, Heather Hemmons, Lindsay Fonseca,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool. Brendan Elliott is returning to our screens after, it's been, I think, a little more than a year since his wife passed away.
Right.
So it's really good to see him back on our screens. It's going to be great. I think we're in for a really good lineup in June. I'm kind of excited about it after we saw the list.
Yeah, I agree. And, a lot of things have been going on. And to come back after a year off, I think he's going to he's going to be.
Yeah, we're still praying for him and his kids. And, time moves on, but grief doesn't always. So,
Nope.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah, but it's
does.
good. I'm glad he's going to be back on our screens
Me too.
in June.
In June.
All right. So today we're going to be reviewing the first May for Moms movie of 2026, Kentucky Roses. It originally aired on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, May 2nd, 2026. And something else happened that day, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And this one stars Andrew Walker and Odette Annable. Now, Andrew, maybe we know him a little bit.
Yeah,
He's got a few Hallmark movies under his belt. I mean, he actually starred in 4 movies in 2025. She's Making a List, 3 Wisest Men, Adventures in Love and Birding, and The Reluctant Royal.
Yeah.
Of course, he made a guest appearance also in Holiday Touchdown, A Bill's Love Story. So I guess 5, making that 5 movies in 2025.
Him and Tyler both did. Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And this is Odette's Hallmark debut, which is very exciting. We have a few things to say about her.
Yeah, we do.
Spoiler alert, all positive. And, when I was checking out her IMDb, she's, been an actress for a while, and she's been in several series that you and I have watched, House, Brothers and Sisters, and a series that we really liked called The Grinder. Now, The Grinder didn't mean that what it means today. The Grinder.
It's not a website.
It's not
it's not an app.
It's not an app. The Grinder, it was so funny. It's with Rob Lowe and who else was in it? Fred Savage.
Yeah, Fred Savage.
We thought that I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I think Timothy Oliphant is in it. It was a really funny comedy series. It didn't last, I think maybe but a couple seasons, but she was in that one. So anyway. We also have a really great supporting cast in this one. Now, we just finished watching the entire canon of Gilmore Girls.
Yes, we did.
Right? We just recently, and we're going to do a little brief podcast about that. But for the first time, we never watched it. So Greg Henry has been in a ton of things, but we know him most recently as Mitchum Huntsberger from Gilmore Girls. That's what we saw him, and we're both like, that's Logan's dad.
And it started off with him playing the same type character.
Well, a little bit. We'll get into that. But he plays now, Andrew Walker plays Ash. So he plays Ash's dad here. And Odette she plays Sadie in the movie. I should have said that. All right, moving on. Peyton Meyer is Lefty, and Allie Ledford is Gloria, and those are the 2 characters from 1932.
Right.
Bryn Thayer is Lily Taylor Reid. She plays Andrew Walker's mom. Abigail Esmena is Camilla, and she is Odette's best friend. And I'm using their actor names, not their character names.
And a horse
Anna
owner
Horse.
trainer. Yeah.
And a horse trainer. Yes, that's true. That's true. Annie Fitzpatrick is Anna, and she plays Odette's mom in this.
Yep, she sure is.
Yes.
So this was directed by Claire Niederprum. She has several Hallmark directing credits, including A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, Villa Amore, The Royal We, and A Royal Corgi Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Jamie Pacino wrote it. Jamie's written several other Hallmark movies: Long Lost Christmas, The Secrets of Bella Vista, 5 More Minutes, and The 12th Date of Christmas, just to name a few. And I also noticed that she wrote an episode of All's Fair, which it was pretty good.
Yeah, we liked it. That's the Ryan Murphy show.
Yeah, Ryan Murphy. It stars Glenn Close, Kim Kardashian, Niecy Nash, and Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts. Yeah, we liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We
kind of
enjoyed
campy, but we enjoyed it.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go out there and watch it, binge it.
It's Ryan Murphy for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
Ryan
if you
Murphy.
like his series, yeah, we enjoyed it. We hope it's coming back.
Yeah. So time to drop the synopsis.
Alrighty. A greenhouse worker and the son of Churchill Downs CEO form an unlikely pair, coming together to save the Kentucky Derby rose blanket and uncovering a generational love story along the way.
Ooh, what a love story. One for the generations.
Okay.
And this is the part of the podcast where we're going to tell you, we're probably going to drop some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I suggest you pause our podcast, go watch it, come back, and let us know what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So before we dive into it, let's talk about the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby happened on the same day that this movie aired.
Yes, it did.
It happened just prior to this movie airing. It, of course, was the 152nd Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
On May 2nd, 2026.
Oof.
And Golden Tempo won the Derby, and his trainer, Cherie DeVoe, I think, she is the first female trainer to ever win the Derby.
Yeah. And she was from post 19.
Post 19, very close. So there
19.
are, and then you watch the movie, and there's a lot of similarities.
Oh my goodness.
It's like life imitating
eerie.
art imitating life. I'm not sure. Of course, they had filmed this before, and then we saw the Derby, and then, well, we didn't watch it live. We saw clips after, and then we watched the movie Saturday night, and then it was just, it's crazy how similar the movie ended up being. Even the horse race itself is similar.
Because Golden was crazy similar.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Golden Tempo was in last place and came around the bend and put the pedal to the metal and then ended up winning. So if you haven't seen it yet, go look up. I mean, I don't think I've ever actually watched the Derby live. I'm really intrigued by it now, especially after watching this movie, but it's some pretty exciting stuff, right? They say it's the best 2 minutes in sports.
Yeah.
or the greatest 2 minutes.
Crazy. And what the only difference was she won by the hair of the horse's chinny chin chin.
Golden Tempo did. Yeah.
Where in the movie, he's, what was it, Angel Face sprinted way ahead. So that was the only difference. But everything else was pretty
similar. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
So,
lots of similarities. So congratulations to Golden Tempo and, of course, to Cherie DeVoe, who is the first female trainer. That is a huge accomplishment. Yep. And I saw something where she said something like, I'm a horse trainer who just happens to be female. Yeah. And I was like, rock on, girl, rock on. It's pretty cool.
Girl power.
Yeah.
But some other interesting facts is post 17, which in the movie Angel Face was in, has yet to win a race.
Like for real, for real?
For real.
Okay.
In real life, over 40 years. And only 3 finishes in the top 3, which they call hitting the board. Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
All these years, 40 years, and not one person. It's the only slot that hasn't won yet.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Well, every
And
year we should start betting on that slot now
right, because
because
sooner or later
it's
it's going to
bound to
hit.
happen, and we might make
And I
lots of
think it was
money
50 to 1 in that slot. So
this
that's,
year.
yeah,
Oh
I
my
think it was 50 to
gosh!
1.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
man, you win that one. Woo,
Woo.
you put some ducats down. Post 5 has the most wins, and it's
Oh.
10. So I just thought
Oh,
that
so
was
that
interesting.
explains why in the movie, which we'll talk about a little bit, why
Yeah,
she's a little bit
yeah.
upset about the post. I didn't even know they were called posts. The
Oops.
where they are, I didn't
Yeah,
even realize that. So that's how
yeah.
little I know about the Kentucky. I know the hats. That's about it, and it's a
The
horse race.
parties, the parties, the
Yeah,
Wednesdays, the Wednesday.
yeah.
Okay, that's hard to say. But there's a lot of other great facts, but we'll get to them
Yes,
after.
yes.
All right. So, what did you think?
You want me to go first? I'll go
Yeah, go
first.
first. You
Okay.
go
All
first.
right.
I'm gonna have a sip of wine.
Sip some wine. Okay. This movie, let me just say this first. This is the spring version of A Biltmore Christmas.
Yeah.
This movie and Biltmore Christmas is our favorite, probably our favorite Hallmark Christmas movie. This movie would have been fantastic in the theater.
Yeah.
It could have been in the theater. The production value I thought was off the chain. It was
Right.
so sweet. I loved the composed music in this and the songs
Yeah.
throughout the
Very
entire
well done.
movie.
Yeah.
The music was so good and so moving and just oh my gosh. The music. So I had to look up. We don't always talk about the composer or the, costume designer, but the composer here was Anne Catherine Dern. And she's composed a few other films, The Perfect Setting, Paging Mr. Darcy, A Heidelberg Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And, music can really, along with other things, but it can really make or break a film. And I think that this one, I mean, if you didn't watch any Hallmark movies, watch this one.
Right.
If you don't normally watch Hallmark movies or you think they're whatever, they have a reputation sort of, but this one is movie production value, like movie theater production value, I think. And I loved it from start to finish. I thought Andrew Walker was phenomenal. I mean, we think he was at his best in Adventures in Love and Birding.
Mm-hmm.
Not at his best, but it just really showcased him
Right.
in a way. We've seen him be, kind of funny and quirky in some of the other movies, but this was, and I know he's done a lot of other movies also, but we really thought, for his films, Adventures in Birding, but this one he was so good in.
Really good.
Really good. And Odette, for her first Hallmark film, I thought just knocked it out of the park. I really, really loved it.
Yeah. She took this role and made
Yeah.
it her own.
The story was
sure.
great. The
Mm-hmm.
production was great. The direction was great. The sound was great. I felt like we were in the theater watching a movie. Yeah. And that says a lot, and that just shows that Hallmark can do it.
Yeah, they can.
They can do it.
Yes, they can.
You don't need the quirky music. You just don't. This was so good. I can't even express how much I loved the composed music in this film.
Well,
I just thought it was lovely, and the story,
mood and the tone, it really it really draws you into that scene.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and it was sweet. It was funny. It was cute. It was just all that. It was about family business. It was just the whole thing worked for me. What about you?
Yeah, it was enjoyable. It was cozy, and I think the Andrew
cozy.
W. Walker fans out there and Derby fans are gonna really enjoy this movie.
No, that's a really good point.
I really think they're gonna enjoy this one.
Yeah, if you really are a fan of the Kentucky Derby, that's an excellent point. I really believe you will really love this movie also because I feel like they honored the Derby
right
really well.
Right. Down to the blanket, the garland
The
blanket.
traditions, and yeah, they can't possibly touch on everything or, and there might be some little minor things, but I think they really tried to stick to
all
the history and the traditions of it all in the movie. And they really nailed it.
But this is definitely a movie that we would watch again.
For sure.
I mean,
for sure.
I love the two time periods, how they layered
Yes.
those two together. It really, see, that made it, that drew me in, because it almost gave you that the way home type vibe, where it's got
Yeah.
two couple time frames going on. Um, I felt like I was emotionally invested in the movie right from the
Hmm.
beginning. Enjoyed that opening. I thought it was really, really, really
Yes.
good. Um, and I think their circumstances, both of them actually, are very relatable. You
Yeah.
know, not everybody wants to take over the family business, but hey, you want to make that name for yourself. You don't want to be in the shadows. And I get it. I
Yeah.
get it, man. So, yeah, I love the movie. There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm same, 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 same. And it's interesting because we had learned that there was going to be a 1932 aspect in the movie, and we weren't sure
Hmm.
how they were going to do it. And I honestly thought we were going to get more of it,
Right.
but it turns out it was just enough
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
story.
I
I mean,
agree. It was.
I thought there was going to be more back and forth. That just my, what I thought in my brain, like my expectation was.
Hmm.
But it ended up working out beautifully the way it was woven into the storyline.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
yeah, it was just the right amount. Just the right amount.
All right. So let's get into that meet cute.
You want to talk about just dive right into the meet
Just
cute.
dive right into it. Which shelf level is this one going to be at or land on? Hmm?
So we do top
Top
shelf.
shelf, middle shelf, and lower shelf. So what did you think?
Do you want to go with our ranking first, or do you want to talk about it first?
Let's talk about it and then we'll rank it.
Okay. Okay. So Sadie, it's evening time, and Sadie has to head to the winter circle to check out the horseshoe of flowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a bad storm that came through, and it did all kinds of damage to it. The building, the spires, which again didn't know anything about spires before this film, had no
Nope.
idea.
Nope.
So she has to check out the horseshoe of flowers to kind of see if what they need to do to fix it, because she and her mom run the greenhouse
Right.
at Churchill Downs. So in the meantime, she's at the flowers, and Andrew Walker's character Ash, he's going to Churchill Downs. He's been recalled from
Summoned.
Cincinnati
He's
from the
been
Natty.
summoned.
He's been summoned. Yeah, he's been summoned by his dad to come and help do the construction aspect of what the storm has damaged at Churchill Downs.
Mm-hmm.
And he is pulling up, and he gets out. I don't know the reason why he gets out there, but
Right.
that's neither here nor there.
Well,
But
it's the
he's gonna.
closest place to park to the fence, the gate. So,
Oh, okay, I guess. So what's cute is Sadie is talking to the flowers, and she's like, "Wow, you had a rough night." And he's behind her, and she doesn't know he's behind her. And he's like, "How'd you know?" And then he kind of startles her, and then she stands up, and they just have like a brief conversation. He tells her he's a builder, and he's going to fix the spire. And, he asked her if she's a looter, but he's saying it like in jest. He's not
yes, in
really.
a fun
Yeah,
kind of way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he jokes about stealing the flowers and all this. And then, and then literal fireworks go off.
Mm-hmm.
Like during their meet cute, literal fireworks go off. And what do they call that? The thunder over Louisville?
Yeah,
Louisville?
something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I
Which
thought that was
Louisville,
cute.
got to pronounce that correctly. And they did a really good
Louisville.
job in this.
Louisville.
Not Louisville. So I mean, if you have literal fireworks go off in a meet cute, I mean, that's got to be a top shelf, right?
Yes, it does.
What'd you think?
Um, I too, I found it enjoyable because it seemed natural when she was talking to the flowers.
Yes.
You can just picture, because people do that. People talk
Oh,
to the
yeah.
flowers, and supposedly it's supposed to help them grow. So that's interesting to
Well,
me.
we need to do that around here.
But you know what kind of vibe I got off of that whole scene was Pretty Woman, because as they were talking and those fireworks went off, she kind of jumped like she
Oh,
really wasn't expecting that, like in Pretty
the
Woman with
the
Richard
necklace
Gere.
scene where he
Yeah, where he
pushes
shuts the lid on her
the
and she's
lid
like,
on.
"Ooh," you
Yeah.
know. I
Which they
just
say was actually
He did that on
improvised.
purpose, right?
It was
And she wasn't
improvised, yeah,
expecting
in
that.
Pretty Woman.
So I kind of felt like that was one of those scenes.
Yeah.
But he was out there too, just to look at where all the shingles were blown off.
Hmm.
And what I found interesting was, and I don't know if you caught it, is they couldn't find the drawings of the original drawings for the
Mm.
building.
Mm.
So that was one thing that he had going against him, was
I
he
didn't.
didn't
I
have
don't
those
think I
plans.
registered that
Mm-hmm.
initially. Oh,
Yep.
okay. Or I missed it,
Yep.
which is not surprising. But yes, totally worked. Top shelf. I'm
Yep.
here for
Top
it.
shelf for me
It
too.
was great, and that's why I said Odette is so great
Oh gosh.
in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into some favorite scenes. So let's do a
Okay.
couple of those,
Just a
and
couple of those,
yes,
couple of
just a
those.
couple.
The whole thing really, it's so hard in a movie like this
Mm-hmm.
because it just, the flow, the pacing was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really just soaked in all of the moments, so it's hard. I'll talk about a few favorite scenes, but really, truly, genuinely, there were very few. There's one thing I might point out later as a jeer, but it's a minor thing. So,
Yeah.
um, I guess I really enjoyed the scene between Ash and his mom in the stable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ash
I
has had
agree.
an argument kind of with his dad a little bit, and you can tell they have this history of not getting along, and she's trying to bring the two of them back together. And it's interesting because what I liked about this storyline was that they're not like mortal enemies.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell, I mean, his dad isn't like this awful person, hasn't been this awful person to him. He's just wanted him to succeed and
Mm-hmm.
maybe viewed his life going a little differently or working, for profit instead of,
Right. For
you know,
nonprofit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and she's kind of, they just have this genuine conversation, and he's resistant to his mom at first because she's like, just because his dad has asked him to fix Churchill Downs, and he, of course, says no right away. And his mom's like, just do it for him. It's his way of saying, he wants to be a part of your life. He wants to see you more. Like this is his language,
Right. And he
right?
believes in you. Yeah.
Yeah, and he believes in you,
Mm-hmm.
and he loves you. And he's like, "Well, if you really want me to, I will." And he's kind of like, "Okay." And then he gives her a hug, and I just thought it was a great moment in the film. And it's not at Churchill Downs, it's at their family farm, you know, near the stables, and
Right.
the horses are nearby. So I liked that. And I really liked the actress, who played his mom,
Yeah.
who we have seen before in Suits, but
Yeah.
Bryn Thayer, I really enjoyed her also. So that would be one of them. What about you?
Um, the scene right after they meet cute, where
Mm,
they're both at a bar.
yes, I have
So
that one on. I'm glad you're talking about it because I won't take one of mine. Go ahead.
so Shep is with or Ash is with Shep, right?
Oh, is
Um,
that the front? Okay.
yeah, that's the friend, and he's played by Mark Mazingo,
Okay.
and Sadie is with Camilla, and they're both telling Shep and Camilla about the night before, and they were
Mm.
like, "Really, fireworks went off?" And it was just so funny and so cute, and they see each other. And it's kind of funny because both Shep and Camilla are like, "Well, go talk to him." And they were like, I don't know." So actually, Andrew Walker ends up walking over. And the one line that I thought was so funny is he asked Sadie, "Does she dance?" And she's like, "Nah." And he's like, "Neither do I." And then he goes, "Do you drink?" And she's like, "Yeah." And let's go.
It was really
It
cute.
was such
And
a
right
cute
right before
scene.
that moment when he asked her about dancing, he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, just
Yes.
hanging around." Like she's nervous a
Like
little
she's
bit. It was so
giddy, right?
cute.
She's
Yeah, it was
giddy.
really cute. And then she says, "Absolutely not," about dancing.
Yeah, that was so cute. But when he said drink, they were like, "Yeah, I can do that." So,
Yeah, I
so that
I
was one of my
agree.
favorite scenes.
It was really cute. And then they're flirty during that moment, right? They have
Mm-hmm.
like they get into more of serious conversation while they're having that drink. and
Mm-hmm.
and then I love the part where they're getting ready to part ways, and they hadn't gotten each other's names prior to that when they met each other,
I know. Another
right? And he
movie where they
goes,
didn't
and
get the digits.
right, and then he's like, "Before you go," and she turns around and she said, "Sadie Moore,"
Yeah.
like she's like, "Here's my name, it's Sadie Moore." It's just
He didn't
so,
even get to
it
finish the
was so
sentence.
cute. Yeah, I love that too. I agree.
Mm.
I approve your favorite scene because it was one of mine also.
Awesome. I'm glad you did. So
Yes.
what was another
Yes.
one?
Um, oh gosh. I really enjoyed when Sadie is talking to, her mom and her best friend,
Hmm.
and they reference her great grandmother Gigi, which I never put together, or Gloria Green until because that's how I never get any of this stuff until it's too late. So I really enjoyed how this scene played out
Hmm.
because you have her a whole lot of the stories happen, which we're not going to rehash. We
Right.
want you to go watch it. But so we have her talking to her mom, and her mom is they're going over the history, right, of her great grandmother, of
Hmm.
Gloria. And you see that Gloria was her and Lefty
Right.
in 1932. They're by a
Whose
well
whose real name is Charlie
who's
in
Charlie.
the movie, right?
Yeah, yeah, his character name is
Hmm.
Lefty slash Charlie. But you see them by a well, and you have seen that well earlier
Hmm.
with Ash and Sadie, right? And so so Sadie's mom is telling her the story, and in 1932 we see that Charlie has planted this, what is it called, a climbing rose,
Right.
right? And it's
Hmm.
something that Sadie had noticed and it's on Ash's farm. And at the same time, this scene is going on where Sadie's talking to her mom and her best friend, and they're talking about Gloria and Charlie in the past, and they're in the pasture, and it's the climbing rose. And then at the same time, Ash's mom is telling him the same story, only she's framing Gloria as a gold digger, right? And then
Right.
and then you kind of see where we go back to Sadie's mom telling the story, and you learn that Charlie planted the roses in a horseshoe when he was going to propose to Gloria,
Right.
right? He made sure they were planted. Now this is the fictional part. I don't believe that that's actually why it's like that, if it's like that at Churchill Downs. But and Gloria works in the greenhouse, and then you find out his family didn't want him to marry her because she was more of a commoner,
Right.
but Ash's mom frames it as she was a gold digger. So now
Right.
you have two different stories about what happened in 1932. And I just thought the way that scene, the pacing of that scene, the
Hmm.
way it flowed, the way it went in between the present day and the past, and between Ash and Sadie, I thought was really, really well done.
Yeah. And Charlie slash Lefty planted the roses to give her roots, to give Gigi roots. And that's what
Yes.
he told her. And I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
I thought it was very
Yeah.
romantic. So yeah,
So,
that was a really good scene. That was one of my favorites. So you took that
yeah.
one from me.
Oh, there you go. Now you can do another one. You have any more?
um, let me see, because I had those highlighted. Oh, that whole scene where now in this show, and this we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But I love that whole scene where so Ash and Sadie had a fight, and they're both in their. I think Ash is up in the tower, and
Mm.
Sadie is at home, and she's looking
Mm-hmm.
through a photo album of Gigi, and she starts to feel the picture because she's got a she feels like she's gotten somewhere in life, and she picks the picture out, and there's a letter, and it's a letter from
What do you
Charlie.
mean she's gotten somewhere in life? What?
Is that when she got the job? I can't remember. Because she was talking about everything I've done. It's because of you, or something like that. She
Oh,
was
maybe,
thanking her
maybe.
mother, and I can't remember when she actually got
You're talking
the
about Sadie.
Sadie. Yes,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and I thought that scene, it was kind of like when Ash's mom and Sadie's mom were telling the story about Gigi. They were reading Ash and Sadie were actually kind of living that life
It was like a
because
parallel
yeah, it was like a
to,
parallel because
yeah,
she found the letter that Charlie had written Gigi, and come to find out she did give the necklace back, and she did give the ring back, and then Ash accidentally finds like the little trap door type thing
where
where
he is at the
where the
same time.
drawing.
Right. You have two different, Again, you have like the two scenes going on, right?
going on back and forth, switching
Yeah.
back and forth. And I thought it was really cool because those were the drawings that were missing. And in those drawings that fell out on the floor was the handkerchief that Gigi had put the necklace and the ring in when she gave it back to Charlie or Lefty.
And that's when he realizes
Yes, she's
that
not a
Gloria
gold
was
digger.
not a gold digger. That's when Ash realizes
Right.
his great uncle's first fiance was not a gold digger.
Right.
Right. And that because that was the whole thing. Where is the necklace? Where is the ring?
Right.
She took it, or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
And I get both sides of that. I mean,
right.
So.
And like you said, and then Sadie's reading the letter that her great grandmother had received from Charlie in 1932. The letter is really good. Just, if I were another kind of man in another time, in another life, we could have been.
I know.
And I was
the
like,
music that was
oh,
playing while she was
yes,
reading
that
it.
line. I'm
That
like,
gave me chills,
oh,
man.
how many times, just sort of miss each other, or it's just not right,
The timing
or
was off. Yeah.
the way things were back then. I loved that.
Yeah.
and then when they does she call him?
She calls him and he's getting ready to call her.
Yes.
But they talk to each other and they're like, come here, meet me.
Well, I think he's like, I have something for you. And she goes, I have something for you. She's all excited in that same scene. So that was another really, really great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have any more?
Okay. Can we just talk about the kiss for a minute? So they meet, right? They meet and they tell each other what they found out. Right?
Yes.
That, her great grandmother wasn't a gold digger, and, his great uncle really loved her, and, whatever.
Right.
And then the kiss. Oh my! Now we don't talk too much about the kisses because it's Hallmark. They're gonna kiss at the end or whatever. And this is towards the end. It's not the end of the movie. That kiss was fire. Andrew Walker and Odette Annable. I mean, I was even like, holy crap.
We're talking Phoenix fire. That thing rose from the ashes. It boiled up, and the look on his face, and he grabbed her cheeks, and it was like done.
Now, our friends over at Forever Hallmark Christmas, they grade kisses. So I would be very curious if they well, they don't. They only their podcast review. They do Christmas movies only. So go listen to them. Go check them out. They're great. But if they were to grade this kiss, if it was anything less than an A, I would be very disappointed in them.
If it's anything less than an A plus,
both Rich and Renee would have to give it. Yeah.
The music built up.
Oh my gosh.
The look in each other's eyes. And it was just like, bam. Oh,
it was,
my God.
Yes. So
yeah, I think I'd be a little jelly over there. I would be.
I mean,
that was
it was fire. Andrew Walker knows how to do it. I'm telling you, he really, really does. So it was really, really good. So that would be another favorite scene. And like I said, we don't really often talk about that, the kissing scene, just because it is what it is. But this one, pretty good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
So I have one more.
Okay.
And that was, so Sadie didn't want to work for the greenhouse. She wanted to be a florist, right? Mm-hmm. So she goes works for one of the, well-respected florists in the area, and that's Delilah. And throughout the movie, Delilah is kind of this, she's kind of a hard type person, but she kind of guides Sadie in her way to become who she needs to be, right? To kind of be, she was trying to find out who she is. And I thought it was so cute because apparently a shipment of roses got stuck because of a flood, which were the roses for the gala blanket, right? Mm-hmm. The blanket they drape around the horse. And I thought it was so cute because Delilah's a little bit older, Sadie's a little bit younger, social media. So they set up the phone and they do this like TikTok type message for all to see because they needed roses. And I thought it was so cool how it all came together.
Yeah.
And Sadie got to sew the first rose on the garland blanket.
Yeah.
That was that was so
Well,
good.
and then they show her great grandmother doing the same
At the
thing,
same time,
sewing a rose.
it was
Yeah.
so
Oh
cool.
my, it was
And
so
what's
good.
cool is in the middle is a crown of roses in the shape of
A
a
crown.
crown.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. Oh,
Yeah.
duh. There's my unobservant,
Yeah.
unobservant
And
skills
that's
again.
for the horse. It's in honor of the horse and the struggles that it took to get to that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very,
So,
very cool. Yeah, that was another good scene where
mhm.
you saw the past and the present.
Oh my God.
Very, very,
Very
very
well written.
moving.
Yeah. All right. So, did you have any more?
No, you have Derby Day. Sadie's best friend's horse, Angel Face, wins. Her best friend is a female, and
Yes.
she is a female trainer, and her
Camilla. Yeah.
horse is coming in last, and he comes around the corner, like we said at the beginning, and wins the race. And what's so cool is Camilla, right? She's the
Mm-hmm.
best friend, the character named Camilla. And the jockey is wearing a purple shirt with a crown on it.
Hallmark.
I'm like, well played, Hallmark.
Yes. Well
Well
played.
played, Hallmark.
Hey, it was a collaboration, right?
Yeah, it was really, really
Yeah.
good.
That was a good scene too.
Yes.
You picked that
Yes.
out. You're like, look. We had to
What?
rewind it because I wasn't sure what. Say, oh yeah, look at that. It's purple and everything.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. So what about some cheers? Did you have any cheers?
No, I hated it. It's terrible, as you can
Uh,
tell. I want to go back on my word. The whole thing, the story was just so beautifully done from start to finish, from the writing to the sound to the costume. I mean, the costuming was fantastic.
mm-hmm.
Like I talked about, the composition of the music, I adored. If they had a CD, I would buy it. No, I wouldn't, because we don't have a CD player. But if they if they would drop a soundtrack, I would love that.
Right.
I would listen to. Look, after I saw the movie, and this is dating myself, Glory, back in 89 or 90-ish,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, right? Have you ever seen that?
Oh, I
It
heard
is
about it. I don't think
a
I've seen
it
it.
is a fantastic movie, and it's about the Civil War. Denzel Washington is in it. Matthew
Oh yeah, yeah,
Broderick is
yeah.
in
You
it.
know, I did
Andre
see it. Yep,
Brower.
yep.
Yeah. Fantastic cast. But when I went to see that movie, the music moved me so much. That was one of the first times I was like, I really got into, you know, sound and in movies and the songs that are in there and the composition and things. And I bought that CD and I listened to it, even the instrumentals,
Right.
I would listen to this instrument. If they would put this on one of the, Apple,
Mm-hmm.
Spotify, I don't know where we have Apple Music. So if they had a Hallmark soundtrack of their movies, that would be so amazing.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
totally listen to this.
Yeah.
Even the instrumentals. I thought it was so good. Um, you know, what I thought they did really, really well in this film too is we didn't really dive too much into the history of Sadie and Ash. We didn't have to hear about. I mean, they briefly
Right.
touched on, yeah, I came home because my marriage didn't work, but we didn't, there wasn't this long like I'm closed off to love and I'm never going to love anybody again and
Right.
I found somebody but I'm too scared, and same with Ash, it's like we didn't spend hardly any time on the past. They were just two grown-ups doing their thing,
Yep.
trying to be themselves and do something maybe similar to their family business, but a little bit different, maybe not the direction their parents wanted, but
Right.
so I thought that was great. And I also really, really appreciated the traditions and history of the Derby that we learned.
Yeah.
You and I are not horse people. I mean,
No.
I took horseback riding lessons when I was, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean we don't ride horses,
Right.
we don't. I took horseback riding lessons when I was a kid. I like to see them when we're
Right.
out, but other than that, I don't have a lot of knowledge about them. I don't really know about the Derby. As I've mentioned, before, I went to college in Kentucky. I've
Mm-hmm.
been to the farm where Secretariat is buried, and I've never been to the Derby. It's just never been something I was,
Interested in
super
doing.
interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to go to the Derby.
I know, right?
That's how good I want to go to the Derby
I want
next
to dress
year.
up and wear a hat, and I don't wear
Let's
hats.
go. I'm going to contact my friends and be like, hey,
Yeah, that's
hook me
funny.
up.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, so it's all just all positive vibes for me. What about you?
Yeah, me too. And
Cheers.
I just don't like I don't know a lot about the Derby, so I kind of did some research and it was interesting because the blanket can have up to 564 roses, so
That's
anywhere between
crazy.
400 and 564. The way they handle and discussed it, the the blanket was really close to tradition, and
Mm,
it's called the garland of roses, which they
mhm.
wrap around the horse that wins in the winner's circle, and the jockey, the winning jockey, gets a bouquet of 60 roses.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Me either. Now this garland thing is weighs up to 40 pounds,
Oh my gosh.
122 inches long, and 22 inches wide.
Wow.
Mm, isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
I think the film just paid so much respect to it.
Yeah, I
It
think so too.
really, really did. And, there are things like you just said. I mean, I didn't know some of that stuff. And I didn't know that they grow, they get their roses mostly from South America, or am I right? South
Yeah, I think it was
America,
South America.
I think.
Hmm.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They source it out. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. And I believe that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually. So, and Kroger is the Kroger garden department is the
Yep.
one who sources the roses
Yep.
and supplies them to the Derby. Didn't know that. I
Hmm.
didn't even know Kroger's existed until I went to college in Kentucky. I grew up near Chicago. Go Cubs. They're on a winning streak. Woo!
Yeah, those roses are called freedom roses. So
Oh,
interesting, right?
the,
The roses
I
they
can't think, the
use.
roses are,
Yeah. Yeah. So that was and the way they draw which post position they get is they use these pill shaped things like up to 20, and they just pick it, and whichever jockey gets drawn, that's the position they get. So I thought
so it
that was
wasn't
pretty.
like it was in the movie.
No, it's like it is in the movie.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't, wasn't, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That was
from, yeah.
surprising to me too. I had no idea.
Yeah. I always wondered how they picked them because it's not like NASCAR where you race around and whoever has the fastest speed gets the pole position. You know what I mean?
Well, you still
So,
start off, well, yeah, I don't know
yeah.
much about that either. So
So,
I'm
so there
not
you
even
have
going
it.
to say anything.
So, what about jeers? You have any jeers?
The only thing I thought of was, so when Ash comes to work at Churchill Downs and his dad has put him in charge, he's a Nepo baby. So he's put in charge, right?
Another reason he
Um,
didn't want to take over the
Even though he
company.
has experience, right? He's
Right.
been in charge of his own company in Cincinnati. And the guy, there was one guy who was kind of like, you know who he is, right? And they're
Uh
like,
huh.
yeah. And then they kind of question, it just, that you just didn't need that part. I didn't
Yeah.
think.
The
So,
foreman.
so you
Hmm.
have the foreman who's kind of like, oh, you're a big bad, because you're the
Yeah.
son of
You
the,
got the job because you're the.
yeah, yeah. And it wasn't overdone, really. It,
Right.
it really wasn't. I was glad it was minor. I just didn't think you needed that particular part. It wasn't really important to the,
Right.
to the movie, but other than that, that would be it. What about you? Any jeers?
No, I didn't have any jeers, but I did notice we had two rubs in this one. So they fought twice,
Who hit?
Ash and Sadie. So when she first finds out that he is a Reed, but he kept it, he
Oh,
used
you know
his,
what? You're right.
he
Yeah.
he kept his mother's maiden name, Taylor. Or
Yes.
and then when they noticed the picture in the bar when they were dancing of his uncle and her great grandmother, um, and he called her a gold digger.
He
She,
called Gloria a gold digger, not
you're right,
Sadie.
but
Right, right,
Sadie just was very upset and left. So
right.
two rubs on this one, two.
Two rubs. I didn't even think
So
about that. Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. You're
All right.
right.
So
You're right.
out of 5 corks, how many are you going to give this one?
10.
Just for
We
the
should
kiss
say how many
alone, right?
roses?
Just for
How
the
many
kiss
roses?
alone.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, there you go. How many roses?
5 all day, every day. I would watch this again. I think this is Hallmark at its best.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Hallmark sometimes, for people who don't watch it a lot, there's kind of a connotation of the movies not being that great. But I am telling you, this movie could have been in a theater.
Yes,
That's
I
how
agree with you.
well I think it was done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cinematography, the music,
Yeah.
the
The
the the
story,
the director, the shots, and the
the actors,
story, the
Andrew, Odette. Yeah.
timelines, the
All of it. All of
traditions and
it.
history. Yes, I agree with you.
And I'm going to have to look up, that Anna, what did I say her name was? Did I have her name? Help me.
Let's see. Anna.
Anne Catherine Dern, the composer.
Yes.
I'm going to go look up more of her stuff.
Yeah.
And see if she's got some online. Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to do 5 corks or 5 roses too.
You're going to do 5 roses too. 5 roses and 5 corks.
Yes. There you go. All right. So is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
All right. Again, thank you for listening to us. And the best way you can support our podcast is if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating and a review. And if you'd like to watch us over on YouTube at Pour the Wine is Rom-Com Time, click that like button. Then click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new episodes.
And if you are on Instagram, make sure you go and follow us at Pour the Wine is Rom-Com Time. We would love for you to follow us there.
Yes, we would.
Make sure you follow us wherever you get your podcasts and on social media so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, cheers.